in a way, it's almost like you should focus down and pick an area which is like, here's something to focus on. So so we know what that one is. The Swarm. I think we saw this one as well. Spawn a drone on an allied row. And whenever you play an organic card, spawn a drone on a random allied row. An organic card being like in another category. For beginner, monster is easiest faction to start Gwent with. Yeah, that's what Mia was saying as well. But it's so maybe, even though I've got kind of a bit used to the Northern Realms with the boosting, I have been playing against the AI, and those 3 games, I'm not sure if it was the AI or not. It was easy enough that it probably was the AI, and the names were a bit suspicious. Carapace and Force of Nature being the easiest leaders. Force of Natures, yeah, the basic ones. My problem with this one, okay, it's 9 points, but it just seems a bit basic. Is 9, like, if you can, I mean, maybe early on it's good. It just seems like if you first match will be against AI, yeah. Fruits is also an easy ability. Fruits of Yizgith. Spawn a Gurnicora? I don't know. Spawn some fruit on an allied row. At the start of your turn, if you do not control any of that fruit, reset this ability. Thrive. Boost this unit by 1 or the specified amount whenever you play a unit with a higher power. The trick is in the category of the Wooden Spirit relic. Let's have a look at that again then. So the fact that it's a relic, does that... So in the other cards of the deck, I mean, we can go build it. We can call this Force of Nature number 1. We can, I don't know, what, like, I am the... Not quite. Oh, that's too long. I am the not Force of Nature. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Processing request. Oh, do they all have to... You can't call it something stupid? Or it's just... I don't know. It just had to process it. It was just being slow. So the fact that it was a relic means that there are other cards, maybe. And... Is this the filter? Faction... Neutral monsters. Cards type. Units. Card set. There you go. Starter. No, this is Way of the Witcher. Like, if I just want to... Is there a way to... Oh, I suppose you can do it this way. Relic. So he also fits into the Thrive archetype. Alright, the reason it's big is that it should be smashed after either your rows have a few Thrive units, or the units that can be triggered because of another unit entering having relic category. So Thrive, I was just reading before. Well, it was like the text here, so I don't like misquote it heavily. I've messed this up. Reset. Ooh. Where's the Thrive card when you need it? I know. There's a lot of relics here, but just because it is a relic, do these have... So increase this unit's base power by 2 for each adjacent relic. Yeah. And at the end of your turn, boost self by 2. Press 2 arrows, buttons, and cards, wands, doubles. 2 arrow buttons. That's the 2 arrows, top right. 2 arrow buttons. 2 arrows. I'm blind. I'm blind. I swear I'm blind. I'm sorry. What is it up here? I do apologize for my inept vision, a lack of ability to know 2 arrows, playing cards. To the right of the search bar. Oh, reset filters. That's to reset. Gotcha. Oh yeah, that is like 2 arrows there. It's like a square arrow thing. Thank you. It's a new UI. It's an interesting thing. Quite interested in user experience, and it being a new game as well is one of the reasons why I was I might create a video and say how easy is it to get into playing Gwent in 2023 if you've never played it before, and small things like that, or just the vast quantity of cards, like just a serious number. This is all information I'm going to try and fit in my head in the next few days. So right, and it was doubling up because I did a search. Is that why? So if I search for Thrive, and now there's the text for Thrive. Yeah. No, it's only showing cards once. Did they give you a starting deck? Yeah, they did. And maybe, so I think that's kind of the way that I did it with. This clearly isn't a very good deck so far with it having just that in it. Save and exit? Sure, I'll save it. Yeah, but it's not valid. So they give you these starter decks. They just give you one of each. So they, if I was going to play monsters, this may be the sensible thing to just start with, because it has the basics. And once you're used to these cards, you then get a keg, which will then give you more cards. My advice would be to play with it and just replace the cards later when you find better cards. Yeah, because this is it's only got 32 provision points. Cards like this one, 14. That's what that number is, right? So if you fill your card with 10 of those, that's most of the points gone. Oh, I mean, you can't have 10 of those, but like 10 of these top quality cards. Because right now you're in the learning phase and you only get confused. There's a lot of information going into my head. I'm wondering how much of it is also leaving my head. Not the Homer Simpson way. Every time I learn something new, it pushes something useful out. I'm clearly misquoting that, but there is a good Simpsons quote. I want to get that quote right now. Every time I learn something, it pushes some old stuff out of my brain. Yeah. Which is good. Maybe it's starting to push out that old Hearthstone stuff. No, that's already gone a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, I could, because as well, like, I've literally just landed into exit this. I've been playing card for years, and even I don't know how every card works. yeah, it's I mean, it's a game which you can. Well, there's just so many layers and levels to it. I wonder, you know, is it too difficult for someone who's just starting at this time? Don't read Dagon's ability. Your brain will explode completely. Now I'm interested in what that ability is. Once you know how exactly your deck works, only then think about altering it. Because what I was playing was the Northern Realms deck in the tutorial and AI battles. Beyond that, so yeah, I think I understand the boost mechanic. So it would be good maybe to move over to another deck, and monsters is another one to start with. So maybe that's the one I'll go with. But yeah, it may be just a bit beyond my ability to craft it. I think Mia was just suggesting, looking at the leader's abilities, you'll understand more about the game, which is definitely true. Although it doesn't let me do it from here. But go back. I'm now intrigued by that other ability. Back. Oh, it won't let me. I assume you're not talking about one of these, but it's one of these ones down here. Build a new deck. So it's... Where would Dagon be? No. Ooh, money. South Dagon? No. Jackpot. Or maybe it's not an ability and it's a... Oh yeah, sorry, you're saying it. Dagon is not a leader, but just a card. So is that... Which deck is that card in? Nilfgaard, the villain of the game. Squirtle is the best faction. Is that your favorite then? I text you. It's that's the one they make you play in the very beginning of the tutorial. And yeah, it's I was already starting to play with the you know, the... What was it? That's just like having the number of elves. I think it's quite simple in a way. At least the deck they give you. But it was all kind of just based on having elves, a number of elves in it. But I suppose as you get more and more cards, it builds up to something a bit more complicated. Played it for months. Boost 4 units in your hand by 1 in your hand. So yeah, I think we saw that as well. Give an allied unit vitality. Vitality. And there's so many statuses and stuff. Status that boosts this unit by 1 on its turn end. Note, vitality turns can accumulate. 1 turn of vitality cancels out 1 turn of bleeding. Yeah, so we saw bleeding earlier. So if you have 2 vitality, it would boost it by 1, and the vitality would go down by 1. Yeah, vitality turns. Your very first deck was a movement deck. So that's like this one, Guerrilla Tactics, moving a unit to the other row. If it's an enemy, damage it by 1. If it's an ally, boost it by 3. So you then have lots of cards which do the moving. Because that's part of the Thronebreaker system as well. Select Invigorate and then search for Sheldon Skaggs. You'll have an idea. Invigorate. Invigorate. Invigorating. Sure. Sheldon. Not like Cooper. Skaggs. The dwarf. So on deploy into the melee, damage an enemy unit by the amount Sheldon is boosted. So is this... If he's boosted 2 or damage 2, but you may have boosted damage an enemy unit by the amount, but he would have been boosted what in hand? Yeah, boost 4 units in your hand. But then you would only have boosted him once. But then I guess there's maybe other cards which kind of boosted. When this card starts in your hand, whenever this card is boosted in your hand, boost a random different unit in your hand by the same amount. Right, so that's quite powerful. Hand boosting is fun. Yeah, the deck is all about boosting cards in your hand. Hand buff. I mean, keep it in the hand. Really fun. Well, I guess it can be really fun. I don't know. If you start boosting in the hand, you'll have to choose carefully which cards you play, such that it's not the ones which have the possibility of being boosted further, like that have been max boosted or have given you the yeah, you want to, if you're boosting in the hand, but Invigorate only gives you 4. Oh no, but 3 charges of that. And you don't want to use those up early on when you have lots of cards in your hand. So you want to be playing your non-hand boosty stuff. Then you play the Invigorate, and then so that's like when you're in the 3rd round. Is that when it's most useful? Because in the 1st and 2nd round, you might still have quite a lot of cards in your hand which are not hand boosty. You want to really get to that 3rd round when you're down to your last 4 cards and they are all hand boost. I don't know. Boost an unboosted unit in your hand by the number of boosted units in your hand. Boost an unboosted unit. Okay. Search Smuggler for a moment. Smuggler one of these ones. Smuggler. Hawker Smuggler. At the end of your turn, boost a random unit in your hand by 1. Oh. Maybe I should be searching for hand. So it's not just Invigorate. There's other things which can get. If I search for hand. There's a card that replaces your leader with something else when it is used. But I seriously search for hand and all of these cards affect the hand. Wow. A card that replaces your leader with something else when it's used. It's like in Hearthstone, and I don't think I ever got this card because it's like one of the legendary ones. It was like the dragons or things that would replace your leader and your ability. Invigorate is played with this card often. Maybe it's mentioned here. Or oh yeah, that's called Renfrey, which I thought I saw at some point, just passing by. Renfrey. Maybe I shouldn't search this way. When there's a search right here. Renfrey. Renfrey's gang. If your starting deck has at least 25 units, summon all copies of self from your deck to this row. That's Renfrey's gang. Doomed. Deploy. If your starting deck has at least 25 units, which Oh, 25. You need at least 30 minutes. Okay. Create a curse to replace your leader ability, then create a blessing and infuse your leader ability with it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like, and if you think you would enjoy more, then please subscribe, or even join me live on Twitch. Whilst it's cliche, all of these will help the channel. On screen is something carefully curated, or something the YouTube algorithm suggests, or maybe even both. In any case, have a great day.